welcome back. It is now the end of July, and I really wanted to show you what is growing in the garden. However, it's super hard for me to get the timing right because I'm either cutting all of the flowers so it looks kind of empty, or it has been raining, and we are going to be getting the next 2.5 days worth of just rain, rain, rain. So I thought I would come out tonight and just show you what's blooming in the garden before the next set of rainstorms happen, maybe in the next 30 to 40 minutes. And hey, if you're new here, my name is Christy. I'm located in Western Massachusetts, Zone 6A, and this is my second year selling flowers at my roadside flower stand. So I really wanted to show you what has been blooming. A lot of my summer warm-loving annuals are going to be pushing out all of their blooms right now. I have been able to harvest a lot between sunflowers, tons of zinnias. Celosia is now being able to get harvested. My basil I've been using for my greenery. So I wanted to show you what everything looks like as best as I can before I have to cut everything in the next few days. So let's take a look at the tilled beds behind me. I'll show you my dahlia beds, and then hopefully before the rain comes, I can show you where my old vegetable garden was and what is now growing in those raised garden beds. And if we have time, we'll go to the perennial area where it's looking a little bit sparse because I have been cutting from it, and some of my cool hardy annuals are done for the moment until we replenish them this fall and start kicking in for some fall planting for spring blooms. So let's get to it. Now, I wasn't able to clean up super nicely because it has been raining and I was super busy with a vendor event happening. But these are going to be my tilled area. We did a lot of cool hardy annuals. This whole row right here used to be snapdragons, but I have had some sunflowers take over, and then I left some snapdragons to do another flush. We have some straw flower, my very sad status, and then I have some snapdragons. We have a little bit of cosmos, and then zinnias, and a bunch to go through. So let's take a look at what everything is looking like, hopefully in this area. And then I do have a round of sunflowers that will be harvested probably the next few days. So I guess I should start in this little area that used to be my sunflower patch, and we have coleus, which I did a very hard cut because I did some mason jars, my 4-ounce mason jars. I used this coleus and it was used as my greenery. So hopefully, as you can see, it's starting to do some little side shoots, and those are going to be used hopefully a little bit later on. And then we have all of our hot biscuits, and then I forgot, this is red spike, I believe. And then we have a little bit of celosia over here, which I should hopefully be able to harvest soon because with that wiggle test, it's nice and stiff. Oh, and there goes the bunny. So I have had frost explosion that I have been cutting off of a lot lately, and it's been giving me multiple stems, but I just absolutely love using this. I would say 3rd and 4th flush have been a lot shorter, but they go great in my mason jars. And the bunny has been doing some work on my marigolds, but I've been totally fine with that. I usually like to just use that for greenery come the fall. And we have mountain mint that I've been harvesting off of. And then we have some Chinese forget-me-nots among these weeds. But I've been harvesting these. They smell so good. Somehow I got over here some hyssop. And then these are going to be the mountain mints that we did this winter and plugged in the spring. And then for whatever reason, my crest did not do good over here. It went right to seed, it bolted. But I do have some basil, lemon basil, but I'm not quite sure if it's getting enough sun and how big it's going to get. Hopefully I can harvest that later on in the fall. All right, we are going to go down our zinnia row, and then we have some celosia and ageratum, and then we'll keep working our way around. All right, we have a little bit of celosia over here, but look, we have some zinnias. I believe these are going to be some of the floret varieties, and then like we have precious metals, Dawn Creek that I got from Floret. But I am just obsessed with these so much. I need to try and save a few seeds as well. And I also have linen over here, ballerina, and we have, I forgot what else I purchased from Floret as well, but look at this one. How cool is that? I need to get a bag over this so I can save some seeds so I know not to cut it. And then we have our Benary's Giant. We have some scarlet, which I will be harvesting for this weekend. And then we do have a little bit of disease over here, so I might pull these ones after. But for the most part, they have been pretty good. We have some awesome white, and then we also have some of our Oklahoma varieties. I'm pretty sure I did like a cream, and then we have some white and carmine. Now look at this one. Oh my goodness, it's huge. So I've been trying to let them go. So I will harvest them when it looks like there's not many petals. But if I still see petals forming, I will not cut it, even if I wiggle it and it passes the wiggle test. I will keep waiting. So like this one, it still has petals coming. So I could let that wait. This one, I might let it wait. But then something, oh, look at this one. This one still has petals coming too. Let's see if I can find one. But like something like this, I would definitely harvest. Or even this one right here. So we have that. We have some purples. I mean, I'm just obsessed with how these are doing, even though they don't get that much sun. And then we have a few more Oklahoma and some of our queenies over here. Now, if I back up, you will see my sunflowers have been really chopped. I've been harvesting those, but then we have another few successions. They have been, as you can see, I had one, this was an Excel, so it bloomed before these, but I really need to get out here and start harvesting them. And even though they're super small, you know what? I've been using them and they look so cute, even though they're so small. So they're very tall. They're taller than me, and I'm 5'3". But the bloom size has been much smaller. But you know what? I think I actually really do enjoy them being this small. All right, we are going to back up. And we have our perennial triloba. It is going to be pushing out some blooms. But then we have Goldilocks. We have cherry brandy. And then we have a lot of the Sahara and Cherokee. Those have been great. I mean, like, look at the bloom size of these. They are so cool. And then we have our ageratum, which I have actually not really harvested anything of. Let me back this up. And it's super big and full. But I'm going to have to figure out when I'm going to start using it. But we have blues and whites. And then we have this pretty like pinkish purple. So I need to start using this because it's really taking over. But my Gumfrina has not been doing too good. I haven't been able to harvest much. I really need to weed in here. My Audrey series are super short for whatever reason, and they're not really jumping up. Then we have some more celosia. Lots of different varieties between all different types of sellers. Lots of floret ones as well, which everyone has really been enjoying. Like I said, it just poured, so everything's a little bit flopped over. So this is not in their glory, but I needed to get this in just because I really wanted to show you. So we have lots and lots of really cool looking celosia that I need to harvest. Our third row, we have some more of our Queenie series, which I have really been enjoying. Just this color palette is really fun. Cosmos, which I'm just not a fan of. I don't know if I'm going to do them next year. Even though I have all the double click ones, I'm just still not using them as much as I want. I just find myself always deadheading them. We have some snapdragons. Like I said, mine weren't that impressive this year, and I really think it's just due to the amount of light. And then I had some stock, but it never made it. It got too hot. But look at my status. It is just always so brown. I don't know if it's the humidity, if it's the overhead watering, but I just I can't keep up with deadheading. They look awful. I don't even get a chance to really be able to harvest much, which is like such a shame because I was very excited. Like, look at all of my white. It's just brown. So if you have any tips on status, please, please, please let me know. And then we have lots of straw flower. It's all closed up now, but I mean, so much. I'm going to start cutting them so I can save the tops for drying. I was hoping to have pumpkins, but that is just not going to happen. They've been all eaten. And then we still have another round of sunflowers over here. So that is going to be our third row. And then this row is just basically a little bit of leftover snapdragons, but most of them are going to start with their second flush. And then we have a little bit of sunflowers down there. Now we will make our way to the dahlias. And this is a new addition this year, and they have been doing so well. And I space them super tight. I'm talking probably anywhere from 6 to 8 inches, maybe 9 if I'm lucky, but I space them way less than a foot. And the stems have been super tall. They're trying to push up. They're competing for the sun. And as you can see, because of the Japanese beetles and any other bug that is around this area, I have been putting these little organza bags on, because if I don't, the petals do get eaten. So I've been trying to go around as much as I can, getting those organza bags on. I have the 6x9, I think the 9x12. So any of the dinner plate ones, I make sure I put obviously the bigger bag. And then if they're smaller, I will put the 6x9 ones, but they've been great. I just keep reusing them. I had a bunch from last year. And I also had to purchase 2 more bags full of them. So they've been great. So I'll show you what they look like. A lot of things are not in bloom right now because, again, it is now Tuesday and I did a big cut on Thursday and Friday for my vendor event, which went super well. So definitely check out that video if you haven't seen. I'll show you my setup and everything. But yeah, everyone loves the dahlias, and those dinner plate ones, especially like the cafe au lait, like mine were as big as my head, and they were one of the first ones to go. So let's take a look at what's blooming, and then we'll head on over to my raised garden beds. So as you can see, I've been bagging them. It keeps the bugs out. I haven't had too many damaged because of it, but even though I have packed things so close, they look very good. I do need to go this weekend and take off the bottom leaves to let some air flow in, but I'm just so happy. And I do need to corral them, like really bad, but I mean, they're just doing amazing. Oh, and by the way, the Jennifer Mary Ellen has become my all-time favorite. So I just have dahlias galore. So these ones will hopefully make it until this upcoming weekend, but they're getting super tall. Some of them are so tall that they get hit by my overhead sprinklers, which is pretty funny. So just walking down, I do my best. Sometimes they do get tangled and I have to kind of fix them or squish them down a little bit, but I just always try to every single night try and take a look at them, do a little walk through, fix them, because as you can see, sometimes the petals can get a little bit squished, but I haven't had too many issues. Sometimes the edges might get a little bit brown on some, so I won't use them. I'll just keep them for myself. But overall, very happy with these dahlias and how tightly I space them. So I do have 6 beds. I'm going to zoom out so you can see them. I do need to corral them, especially these ones right here. They're starting to go into the pathway, so I can't get by. Other than that, I've been super happy. I mean, look at this one. Look at the cafe au lait. I'm just so in love with how it just changes over time. So these are going to be the dahlias. So now we're going to go into the raised garden beds behind me. This is where my vegetable garden used to be. My vegetable garden has now turned into 2 6-foot beds that are in front of me right now, with just a few peppers and tomatoes and some basil. But hey, that is good enough. So we are going to check out some of the sunflowers I planted. I still have lysianthus that are somehow surviving among the weeds, and some amazingly tall zinnias. So I'm super excited to show you over here. So this is my old garden bed. We have lots of basil over here, and I even have some raspberries, even though I thought I dug them up. My nigella that is going to be totally redone, hopefully this weekend. I have mountain mint, lizzies, zinnias and zinnias, some sunflower successions, and then in the back I have zinnias, lizzies, and lizzies. So let's take a look. So this is my lemon basil. As you can see, I did a good harvest. I'm going to be cutting some more. Absolutely got so many compliments of how good it smelled. And then I also have some Dusty Miller down here as well, which hopefully I can harvest soon. But I'm obsessed with the lemon basil, and I do have some cinnamon. Highly, highly suggest it. It just smells so good. Best time for me was either super early in the morning and let it condition all day, or late in the evening around 7 o'clock and let it obviously condition at night. This is my nigella. I've been collecting seed pods because they have been busting open. I'm going to clear this whole entire thing and direct sow all new nigella seeds, plus with the ones that I've saved. So I've been saving these seed pods, the big ones, and then these are the little blue ones that I have. I've been saving them If they have to, I'll just chuck them in there. But the weeds got to them because this is where the bunnies were. So I didn't really get to touch this bed as much as I was hoping. We also have pineapple mint and a special oregano. This is so cute. It's going to be pink. I'm hoping to use it next year, but I really need to get in here and weed. But the pineapple mint has been a great addition, and I'm happy I have it contained, but it just keeps popping up, which is great. And it smells so lovely, but the Japanese beetles have really been enjoying them as well. And then my lizzies. My poor lizzies I've been cutting from them, but I kind of let this tomato plant go, and I'm kind of wishing I didn't because it's been toppling over. These are all volunteer tomatoes. Do you see them? All volunteer, but the rainstorm definitely knocked them down. So I'm going to have to harvest these soon. But it's just going to keep on raining. So I'm really hoping that these will survive because, I mean, look at them. They're beautiful. I might harvest some tonight and then let them dry in the basement and then put them in the fridge maybe later in the day. But I really need to get out here and get these lizzies because they just look so good. And they're bending towards the sun. But I mean, look at these. They're absolutely stunning. So I'm hoping they can just survive these next few days of rain. And then we have another succession. So good. All right, so we need to talk about these zinnias behind me because these were a later succession that I planted out. I want to say I started them maybe about a month or so afterwards. And I planted them out super late because I was just not ready to garden in here and I had so many other things to do. But this just goes to show because of the fact that they do get lots of sun and they were planted later that they are super tall. So they are in a good 18-inch raised garden bed, but I'm going to back up and I'm going to stand by this orange one over here because again, I am 5'3" and they are super, super tall. So let me just move on over. I mean, it is so tall and I'm so happy. These ones over here have been producing so well because this gets so much sun. So this area, I know once my trees are knocked down that I'm going to focus on the right side over here. That is going to be all of my warm loving annuals because it's going to get so much more sun because it doesn't have a few of these neighboring pine trees that are my neighbors and I can't knock them down because they're not on my property and nor do I want to pay, unfortunately, for my neighbor to get some free trees knocked down. So I'm going to focus this side of my backyard to have all of my zinnias and celosia, also my snapdragons because those we do know after this year, they also need a lot of sun. So they are just doing so good. And my zinnias from Floret, I have my unicorn mix over here and I am in love with them. I do wish that they were more doubled or a little bit bigger and fuller, but I am obsessed with the coloring nonetheless. And I do need to make sure I try and save seeds because I did pay a nice price for them, but they're well worth it. I just love the colors, but I do want to try and save seeds. So I'm going to take the camera off the tripod. I'm going to show you the zinnias behind me, and then I'll show you, I have actually 3 beds over here. And then I do have another succession of sunflowers over here. We're testing out same spacing, more sunlight, and see if that has anything to do with it because sun is just a treasured piece in this backyard because of the pine trees. So unfortunately, there's not much I can do, but just try and use what I can work with. But even though I might not get the full amount of sun that I was hoping for, everything is growing really great. I've been getting lots of bloom, so I should not be complaining. So let's pan around and see what's going on over here. And then I'm going to take you over to my perennial section in my cool hardy annual beds that I was using and show you where my holding station is because I've been stockpiling lots of things over there. So let's take a look. So these are at a 0.5 zoom and look at how good these zinnia beds are. So we're going to take a look over here at these Benary's Giants. I mean, I'm obsessed. They're just so pretty. I've been letting them go. I didn't cut everything for my vendor event. The orange is like, I have to get on my tippy toes, but so pretty. Some of them are a little bit past, like, look at this one. I honestly might bag this one and save the seeds. Now, I know it might not be true to the parent, but I'm just like obsessed with this. They are just coming out so nice. Like this one, for instance, see how the petals are still forming? I am not going to pick this even though it is a beautiful flower. I might let this go for another week. Whereas this one right here, I am going to definitely harvest. And again, these are the Lizzies. I think I got a little bit caught up, but obsessed. I'm going to start so many more next year. I just know it. So we got a little bit sidetracked. This bed's doing really good. Not as many weeds because there's not tomatoes growing in it, except for, well, maybe one volunteer. But this bed is just a little bit hopeless because it's spilling out, and I really should have picked it. And then I have some of my wine, and these are my candy stripe ones. I always make sure I have the candy stripe. They go so nicely. I pair them with my hydrangeas. And then, I mean, look at this. Stunning. And I pair them, yeah, hydrangeas, candy stripe, and then I'll do these wines right here. They are just beautiful. So this bed is also doing really well. This is where all my cherry tomatoes were. So that's why I feel like they're doing great. We have some yellows. So like, for instance, this one we'll leave. And this one we'll pick. And like, this one's so tall. I don't even know if I can get it. Stunning. But look at, like this, for instance. I'm going to put a bag on that before I go in. Look. The colors. This is what I wanted so bad. So we're going to try and save some seeds from here. But hers, I mean, these are some of the sturdiest stems. I have not had any other varieties with the, but look at these long stems. Like, look at all of them. They're just so sturdy. But yeah, sorry, I'm super short, so it's kind of hard, but beautiful colors. Beautiful, beautiful. Lots of these beautiful pinks and yellows. Like, look at that. Oh my gosh, so pretty. But yeah, that one over there, we are going to save that. So I'm very excited for her flowers. And this is what it looks like. I'm one of those people that just can never have enough zinnias. All right, so I'm going to try and walk with my tripod right now. And we're going to take a look at my other area. This is where I had a lot of my cool hardy annuals. It got lots of sun. I do have some perennial areas as well. I'm trying to stick over everything. My yarrow, unfortunately, hasn't been doing too hot. I did get a lot of the starts eaten by the bunny. And for whatever reason, my first year yarrow last year and this year has not done too good. Just lots of green growth, but whatever. We'll use it for next year, no worries. So I'm going to turn it around, and then I'm going to also show you some other spots. So this is my hot mess slash weeds, but this I have to rope off because of the bunny. So I do have some yarrow blooming, as you can see, but it is a lot of weeds. This is my amazing Sarah Bernhardt, and this is a dahlia. I have to tell you this. This dahlia has overwintered 2 years in a row with negative 18-degree temperatures this winter, and it came back up. So I am leaving it. I am not touching it. It must get some heat from the house. But I do have, this is all yarrow, but just not too much blooming right now. But yeah, amazing. So this is the other area. I did all of my cool hardy annuals here, but I have also since replanted, and then I have some perennials that I kind of just leave for the insects to enjoy. So over here, I tried overwintering snapdragons, and that was just a no-go. So I put some hyssop over here, and then over there I have some more feverfew, which is great. We have feverfew that just did a second flush. It was super short, but I did use it for some of my jelly jars. And then my Veronica is going to be over there. Bachelor's buttons, not a fan of. More feverfew, and that's my dianthus. So over here, I had my Amazon series, amazing. I still have 2 more holding on to the Amazon series of my dianthus. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch more. I'd had saponaria over here, didn't do well, so that's just weeds. And then look at this. This is my Sweet Annie. And it literally just, it did nothing. Nothing. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try it again next year. I'm not quite sure if maybe I transplanted it too late. Maybe if I let it go to seed, it will self-seed. I'm not quite sure. But I want to try that again next year. So I'm just letting this bed go to weeds right now, and then I'm going to plant some of my fall plantings over here. Fall planted feverfew, and then over there is blue plurum, which I'm letting go to seed and reseed itself over here, and I'll also sprinkle in some seeds as well. And then over here is my holding station. So these are going to be some of our winter sown Rebecca in these 2 trays. I do have some blue false indigo that has survived, but it has been so wet, and I've not come, like, look at how much water from the rain. Sometimes I forget to empty these out, so these just have been staying too wet. Few hydrangeas that have made it. Some more Rebecca over there, but for the most part, I only have a few of my blue false indigo that survived, which is such a shame, but I have a few more over there. Winter sown milk jugs I haven't gotten to, but something like this, which is ironweed, it's super small. My hydrangeas are starting to come up a little bit, and all of these, these are all of my peonies. Do you remember we planted them together? So some have not popped up, which makes me a bit worried, but you have ones like these. Look, it's just starting to come up. And then you have other ones. It has been such a wet and humid summer. It's making me a little bit nervous, but I have those ones over there. Like that one's doing good. These are ones I bought from Home Depot when they were on sale. But yeah, these are all of my peony roots. So some have been coming up. Like, look, this one is just starting to come up right here. And then other ones, we have like a nice little bush. So hopefully these will do well. I'm not giving up on them yet. But even if that is just a case, that's fine. And then I've been finding plants on sale. So we always have my 9 bark. I found, I forgot what kind of bush that is. That's on sale. I got some hydrangeas, some fairy trail bride cascading hydrangeas for up front I'm going to do. I have some nepeta. I'm going to go back and buy a bunch more to put up front to redo my landscaping. So this is like my holding station. But the peonies, that's where I'm just trying to bank as much as I can and hopefully getting these roots to keep popping up. So we'll see. Oh, look, see, here we go. We have one baby one coming up. So see, not all is lost. This one has some. This one, I don't see anything but weeds right now. So something hopefully will come up. Oh, wait, actually, yay, there's one right here. So look, we got a couple here. They're slowly coming. Slowly coming. So we will stay tuned on that. But this is basically a pan of everything. Bee balm is going right now. Some of my coneflowers popping up. Some of my perennial Rebecca's popping up. And then this is my vegetable garden. So unfortunately, I have not been on top of. We have some blight going. But I have been having lots of peppers. This is my dwarf marigolds. I've had some peppers we've harvested. I've been getting lots of basil. So yeah, this is my cattle panel. You know what? I might give up on the veggies and do pumpkins here next year. So we'll see. So that way the bunnies can't get to it. That is going to be my next plan, is maybe making a pumpkin arch. All right, everyone. Here is the whole backyard in bloom. All right, it is getting super sticky and muggy and gross out right now, and the rain's supposed to be coming back. It's starting to sprinkle. So that is just my quick little July update. I really was trying to wait for a day where I could do it midweek so you could see things in bloom, especially because I do all of my harvesting now Thursdays and Fridays, sell everything on the weekend. It's kind of tricky for you to see everything blooming, but we're coming to that part of the year where I just have so many blooms coming up. I have been very consistent making sure that I fertilize everything, whether it's on a Saturday or Sunday. I have not skipped any weekend since I've had that backpack sprayer, which has been such a game changer. So I make sure that I put in my backpack sprayer, spray all the leaves. It probably takes me now about 3 trips or so at 16 liters to get everything. And then I do have a zinnia patch out front, which I totally forgot to show you. That one has been okay, but at least it's just giving me some extra blooms that I need. And then other than that, I still have lots of tasks. I have to corral my dahlias. I have to get all the foliage off the bottom of those. Weeding is insane. I've been for the past 2 weekends going and weeding at someone else's house for about 3 hours each Sunday. So that means that I lost that time here. So I need to do that this weekend. Luckily, it doesn't look like it's gonna rain. So if I can just get everything out at 9 a.m. on Saturday, I should have the whole weekend free to just devote my time to weeding, little chores, and so much seed starting. I'm behind, so behind. I unfortunately didn't do any weeding last weekend except for sunflowers. I've been really good about staying on top of those because I had my vendor event, which took all day Saturday, and basically everything I had left in me on Thursday and Friday. Sunday, I did some weeding, and then I was just trying to get a couple of other little things done around the house. So all I had time to do on Sunday was fertilize and start some more sunflowers. So this weekend, we're going to really just go all in and get as much done as possible because I just signed up for another vendor event I'm going to be doing in my town that is in about 3 weeks. And then I'm signing up for another one on September 5th. So August 15th and September 5th, I'm going to be doing 2 more events. It was so good meeting local people, showing them my flowers, making flowers in front of them, and getting my name out there. So it's been such a treat doing that. And I did so well the last time, like heck with it. I'm just going to do it another 2 times, except I don't know if people do farmers market every weekend because it is so exhausting. So I give everyone so much props for being able to do that, especially if you have another job on top of it. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the flowers in bloom. If you would like to stay updated and see how everything is going at my roadside flower stand, please make sure you hit like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I will see you all next time. Happy gardening.